Do you have an old crap can like this taking up space in your driveway? Are you still holding on to your old high school whip? Did your aunt run off to Alaska with her boyfriend and leave her shitbox Cadillac sitting next to your house? If so, call Woffords Towing. They haul off junk cars just like these, and they even pay you cash for those old clunkers. So let's recap. We take your pile of crap, we put it in our state-of-the-art pancake maker, and we squeeze out all the cash. Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking, 201 South Frontage Road, Wapato, 509-877-4944.
Tidricks Quality Transmissions. Come see us today. Thank you.
Hello and welcome, racing fans, to Pensacola, Florida, here tonight for the iRacing Northwest Tour provided by Joe's Racing Products. Kustom Fab Northwest Snowball Derby here tonight at the Five Flag Speedway. 200 laps around this half-mile racetrack, and we should be in for a good one here. I'm Justin Kolb alongside Greg Rentz in the booth, Carlos Acosta in the production truck, and Greg, just saw the B-Main, a fantastic race there. Now we get set for 200 laps around this little racetrack.
Yeah, B main was great. Great battle to the end between two guys who have really been strong all season long. Was kind of surprised to see them in the B main. Seth Fraser driving the number 02 tonight after running number 2 all season long. And Sean Brightsman, the winner back at Richmond, they battled it out until the end in the B main tonight. Seth Fraser wound up getting the best of it in the Charlie Brown Christmas-inspired car. So we'll see if he can transfer that over as he will roll off 17th tonight. But like you mentioned, this is the longest race of the year lap count-wise, 200 laps. We'll see what happens coming up here at Five Flag Speedway tonight for the Kustom Fab Snowball Derby.
Before I mentioned the Christmas scheme there, before we get into that, just want to take you through the point standings as they came out of New Hampshire last week. It is Jason Berg still on top at the moment, 286 points to his credit. Sean Brightsman not too far behind him, 8 points behind. Bart Hector Jr. in third, 17 points behind the points leader. Mathew Kingsbury in fourth, 24 points behind. Scott Mann in fifth, 25. And Garrett Huffines in sixth, 26 points behind. As well as James Paulson in seventh, 28 behind. So very close battle there from fourth down to seventh. Then you have Donovan Stevens in eighth, 43 behind. Matt Hackthorne, last week's winner, 51 points behind. And rounding out the top 10, Vernon Margheim, 52 points behind the race leader. Or points leader, excuse me. So just a little bit about this track before we get racing here tonight. I can say from driving on the track that it seems much wider than it really is. 15 degrees of banking in the corners, 9 degrees of banking in the straight, so even the straightaway has a good amount of banking to it. The turns here tonight are going to be 55 feet wide, and then on the straightaways, it's going to be 48 feet wide. So, Greg, we're going to have a lot of racing room to work with here tonight.
A lot of racing room to work with. This is an identical setup to the big race earlier today, the 51st annual Snowball Derby down in Pensacola. This is the identical one. This is the Northwest Tour edition. This is really going to be one of the crown jewel races of the Northwest Tour this year. So we are really looking forward to this one. 200 laps, and this series has been competitive. We've had 4 main events this year, technically, and 4 different winners here, Justin.
Yes, sir. It's been very exciting and very fun to watch. So, and mentioned before, this race here tonight going to be 200 laps, but really 16-second lap times around the small track. That's going to go pretty quickly here tonight. And along with that, we do have a rule in effect here tonight. Any caution past lap 80, these guys will be allowed to come down pit road, take 4 tires and fuel. And then if we do not get a caution past lap 110, they will throw the caution. And that's mainly for the fact that they cannot make it all the way to the end here, green flag to checkered flag, on fuel tonight.
So there you have it. There's going to be a 30-lap window where if there's a yellow, we will throw the we will pit there. Like he said, lap 110, if we get to that spot, there will be a competition yellow. So some strategy going to come into effect here in this one as we get set. Justin, this is going to be one heck of a race. B-main, probably one of the best B-mains we had all year. Very clean racing in the B-main earlier tonight.
Absolutely, and they seem to get a little bit physical in the B-main as well, so definitely look forward to that here tonight. Session was just advanced. We're getting set to set the starting grid here tonight. 24 cars in it, as per the usual. These guys still getting to the grid here.
We take a look at the starting lineup. Qualifying 16th and rolling off on the pole tonight will be the number 72, B.J. Tidrick. Rolling off on the pole. 2 is outside, making his first start of the year. Brad Morrison, the number 26. Chance Overhaul inside row number 2 with the only Pontiac in the field. Adam Halm in the number 69. Daniel Masters rounds out the top 5, Justin.
Yes, sir. And next to him will be Chris Walters in the 6th position. Mathew Hackthorne will start 7th here tonight. Daryl Tidrick in 8th. Donovan Stevens in 9th. Shane Quinn will round out your top 10.
Rolling off in 11th, top 5 of qualifying will be the number 92 of Casey Tillman. Christopher Heim, who's shown a lot of promise, but just hasn't had the racer's luck so far this season. We'll see if Heim can get something going, qualifying in the top 5. Scott Mann, Caden Anderson driving the number 37, and rounding out the top 2 in qualifying was Bart Hector Jr. and Jason Berg as we get set with pace laps begin.
And from the B main advancing, Seth Fraser in 17th, Sean Breisman in 18th, Josh Childress in 19th, Justin McClure in 20th, Vernon Margheim in 21st, and Nicholas Bellamy in 22nd. James Paulson and Mathew Kingsbury were your 2 provisionals there.
So Mathew Kingsbury, the winner of the season opener at USA International, he's going to start at the very back of the field. But it looks like both Jason Berg and Bart Hector Jr. have been given penalties. They have elected to start at the back. Also, it would appear, Scott Mann on that list as well.
Make that even more interesting. Some of those fast guys going to have the work cut out for them, but these opening parts of the race can get a little hectic at times. Saw that in the B main, but these guys that went to the back are going to have a long race to go to make their way back to the front. Pace car is off. BJ Tidrick will lead them to the green here. Out of turn 4, green flag is out, and we are racing here from Five Flag Speedway.
And noteworthy on the start, Chance Overholt not making the call. He was scheduled to start inside the top 5. He did not make the call. He was on pit road, but Tidrick got to a big lead. And look at Daniel Masters from 5th to 2nd in 1 lap, bringing Matt Hackathorn, winner of race number 2 at New Hampshire, with him.
And it almost looked like they were going to go 3 wide into turn number 1 there, but they all made it out cleanly. Still some side-by-side racing back there. And already the leader's going to have to deal with a little bit of lap traffic there up in front. I believe that's the 62 of Chance Overholt, as you mentioned, didn't make it to the green.
Yeah, that is Overholt. Got going. He's on the lead lap for the time being, but not a whole lot of distance between himself and BJ Tidrick. Those 2 are best friends and car builders down at Kustom Fab, tonight's title sponsor. Tidrick leading the way. His car building buddy and best friend Chance Overholt trying to outrun him and stay on the lead lap for now as the battle breaks out for second early between Masters and Hackathorn.
Absolutely. Hackathorn was all over the rear bumper and tries once again in 3 and 4, no contact, but got close there. Speaking of close, it got pretty close there back there with the 5 of Donovan Stevens and the 29 of Shane Quinn. Almost both of them ran out of racing room a little bit there in 3 and 4.
Stevens, one of our guys, running a Christmas scheme tonight as Quinn again gets a run. That backs up Daryl Tidrick in the 45 as well. Battle breaking out behind them as well. As looks like things are settling down. Look at Seth Fraser making some moves early in the 0-2.
He had to work his way from a little deep in the field in the B main and just slowly and methodically worked his way up to the front. And with about 5 to go, took that lead. So absolutely can't count out that 0-2. And you see the peanuts on that hood. There are about 4 Christmas schemes in the field here tonight. I think we were expecting a little bit more, but cool nonetheless to see them on these super late models here tonight.
Yeah, Fraser has been excited about running this scheme for a while. He could not wait to show this one off to the rest of the drivers in the field, and it looks like it's working so far. B main win, and he's up +6 so far in the standings of this 200-lap race. But right behind him, Vernon Margheim, he's already up to the 12th position from the 21st starting spot. He has advanced 9 positions just in the opening 9 laps.
Definitely looks like he has a fast race car, but back up front, getting pretty close there for second place. Matt Hackathorn has been all over the rear bumper of the 3 of Daniel Masters, and that's kind of brought Chris Walters there in the 24 up to it. Matt Hackathorn going to try and get to the high side, see if he can get a different line around the 3, but that's only going to open up the door here for the 24.
And Adam Holm in the Pontiac also starting to creep up into that picture as well. Top 5, you see him in the 3 now. Tidrick, Masters, Hackathorn, Walters, and Holm. Top 5 right now. They've broken away. Tidrick a little bit further ahead as Morrison had problems on the initial start that allowed Masters to get up into the 2nd spot. Hackathorn followed suit, and he's doing a good job right now. Really kind of settled down here between the top 3 so far in the early stages.
Yeah, there's the top 5, all behind race leader BJ Tidrick. And just behind them, basically a freight train behind. Everybody kind of running single file, nose to tail. Looked like there was a little bit of side-by-side racing, positions changing hands, but for the most part, this field is still really close together as we take lap 14.
Checking in with a couple of our drivers who started at the back of the pack to try to make their way through the field. Jason Berg, Bart Hector Jr., the two fastest cars, elected to start at the tail end of the field to try to make their way through and make things a little bit more interesting. Berg in the 21 leading the charge there. He's up to 16th. Hector, one spot behind him in 17th. So they're making their headway through the field after electing to start at the tail end.
As you mentioned before, oh, the 45 is going to get spun around in the back of the pack. Contact with another car.
And Jason Berg, fast time, making his way through, is involved in that one in the 21.
Seemed like there was a lot of cars involved in that one. Take a look at what happened as everybody tries to leave the scene of the crime there. Oh, and I think some of the leaders were involved too. I thought Daniel Masters may have gotten the rear bumper of the 72. Here's the replay. And I believe the 45 got a little high there, and 92 catches him. And then, well, we mentioned how much racing room they have, but really not a whole lot of room to get by a wrecks like that, especially on the front straightaway. So here's an onboard from the 21 of Jason Berg. See what he sees as they head into this. Just up ahead, that's when the 45s are going to get spun around. Oh, and then contact behind is what sends the 21 spinning there on the front straightaway.
Matt Kingsbury in the 98 also caught up in that one, winner at USA. So 2 of the 4 winners so far this season caught up in that one.
And there, I can confirm, by the way, there was contact with the 3 of Daniel Masters and the 72 of BJ Tidrick, as those guys tried to slow down under caution. I don't think it's too much damage, but see what happens here. And Greg, we already have a few guys that look like they're out of the race here.
Yeah, we've got Brad Morrison and Bart Hector Jr. They were in the infield care center. So, Brad, we'll start with you. Started on the outside pole. What went wrong on the 26? And Brad, all right, we'll start with Bart Hector Jr. Bart, looked like you made your way through that one. What happened?
They just started wrecking up in front, so I just hit the brakes and went to the outside and missed it. So, should be good.
All right, you're rolling mid-pack right now. Currently scored in the 13th position. Started at the back, and you've made your way up into the top 15. Like what you see so far in the 82 car.
Yep, just going to keep the nose clean and try to gain some spots and get up there.
All right, Bart, 3rd place last time in action in New Hampshire. You're 13th right now, still early, 20 laps on the docket right now. Good luck, sir.
Thanks.
All right, well, they got everything wrapped up there, getting set to go, double filed up. Pace car is in, and it'll be BJ Tidrick and Mathew Hackathorn on the front row. BJ is off. Green flag is out. Looks like a pretty clean start there from everybody.
Tidrick has been really good on those initial starts in the 72 car, as Masters going back to the inside of Hackathorn. Hackathorn had gotten around him just before that caution, as the field kind of doing a little bit of a better job hanging tight with Hackathorn and company right now, as Hall in 5th, feeling the heat from Shane Quinn, Donovan Stevens, Seth Fraser, who won the B main, and Nick Bellamy finished 6th in the B main. He's in the top 10 already in the 20. He is advanced 13 positions from the 22nd starting spot.
Pretty good racing back in the pack there. Matt Hackathorn right on the rear bumper of BJ Tidrick, trying to give him some pressure. And if you do look at the 72's rear bumper, there is no damage, so it didn't look like he got anything from that contact from that last caution. But I do see that the 3 of Daniel Masters did get some on the right front, so I don't believe that'll come into effect, but just of note, there is some damage there on the 3.
So Hackathorn breathing down the back of BJ Tidrick in the number 72, opened up a little bit of space between them and DJ Masters, who's feeling the heat from Chris Walters right now, as Hackathorn thought about taking a peek to the outside there. Tidrick has led all 25 laps thus far, working lap 26. Tidrick, Hackathorn, Masters, Walters, and Halm, your top 5.
Looked like it was really heating up there for that third spot between Daniel Masters and Chris Walters. Now Walters will get to the inside of the 3. Gets so close he almost hits the wall down there. That got pretty close, and it'll be a drag race off turn 2. Give the advantage to Daniel at the moment. But Walter's going to have the preferred lane there and some contact with the 69. Gives him a shot, and he will take the third spot away from the 3.
Don't look now, because here comes the 69 following suit on the inside. Adam Halm in the Pontiac. The only Pontiac in the field tonight is that number 69. He follows Master Center. The leader is around. BJ Tidrick around. This is going to
no!
Field.
That is a lot of cars involved in that one. No caution is out at the moment. We got cars sideways, and the green flag is still out. I'm surprised no one's called a caution yet. BJ Tidrick just getting it around now, and there's the caution. And I think there was some more contact as these guys slowed up to try and get to the caution. Let's take a look at what happened. I'm guessing there was probably some contact for the race lead. So this is heading into turn 3 when it all happened. And yeah, Hackathorn just got him there, slowed up to make sure that he didn't get into him, and then really got into it. Hackathorn almost standing there with his rear wheels in the air there. Wow.
Shane Quinn, Donovan Stevens involved.
Yeah, more contact after Shane and BJ tried to get back rolling. If you can just see the freight train coming from behind, you can't really go anywhere in that situation when there's cars sitting there like that.
And what a tough break for both Tidrick and Hackathorn. The top 2, Tidrick off to a great start in the number 72. Leads the first 29 laps just to have it taken away from him. Tough break for Tidrick, Hackathorn, and others. And as everyone piled into that one.
And I'd have to imagine that. I don't think that Matt would be trying to get that aggressive that early. We're only on lap 32, still got 170 laps to go. But as you mentioned, it was very unfortunate for both of them. See the 3 of Daniel Masters there with some more damage to his car, so see how much more that can take.
Yeah, Daniel Masters, a little bit of damage on his car, but he's leading the way right now. Adam Halm, the Pontiac, in second. Nick Bellamy from the final transfer spot of the B main to the podium right now. He's in third. Seth Fraser, the B main winner, and Chris Walters round out the top 5. So
Getting set here. Lights are out. And a brand new front row after a strange caution that takes the 2 leaders out. Pace car is off. And Daniel Masters will lead him to the green. Green flag is out. And a pretty clean restart. Side by side for a second as they head at a quarter number 2.
man, look at Nick Bellamy going in that number 20. Started 22nd after
going
the
for the
B
lead.
main. He's going for the lead. He is going to get it. Nick Bellamy from 6th in the B main started 22nd. He leads the Northwest Snowball Derby.
What a move by that 20, and now the 3 of Daniel Masters on the train to the back at the moment. 3 wide into turn number 3, and he is on that very high side and taking it all the way to the back at this point. That car very slow. The 92 going to go around. Hard impact on the front straightaway.
That was a vicious hit for Casey Tillman in the 92. Masters hung up on the outside.
That's where it all went wrong there. Kind of ran out of room there. 3 all the way to the high side. The 92 trying to get room, and then barely caught the 90 of Scott Mann there, and hard contact. And it looked like, luckily, that 62 was able to ghost through. I don't believe he got any damage there. Chance Overholt in that 62.
Tough break for someone who is making their way through the field slowly but surely in the 92, Casey Tillman. Tough break.
Why don't we talk to the leader here, Greg? Got him in the room.
Nick Bellamy, Greg Rentz up in the tower. You got a copy.
Oh.
Hey, Nick
Yeah,
Bellamy.
I got a copy.
Hey, Nick, you've been making some serious headway through the field. You went from 22nd starting position after finishing 6th, the final transfer spot in the B main. Here you are leading the Northwest Snowball Derby. Tell us about your run as you've been making your way through traffic.
I mean, it's early in the run. We got 160 to go, so I'm fortunate to kind of made it through the carnage this far in the race. I just like to thank Kustom Fab a little bit for putting this show on. This is actually my first race in the series, and I'm happy to be here and up front.
Yeah, making a statement with your debut this season, plus 21 spots from it. Like you said, you're thanking Kustom Fab on the number 20. Looking good out there. Good luck tonight for the rest of the race. We'll see if you can hold on for this Kustom Fab Snowball Derby.
Thanks, Greg.
And that was Nick Bellamy in the number 20. Race leader from 22nd starting spot to the lead. Justin, he's having one heck of a run in that 20 car.
Absolutely, and he took it in style. Unfortunately, that 3 looked like he had some issues there, and was able to take it on the bottom, and it looked definitely like a power move there to the front. And now, for our next restart, the front row is kind of completely swapped once again, as we do see the 3 on pit road. And 2 laps down at the moment. I was going to say, that car looks like it probably had some damage that on that last caution that he probably didn't know about until they got up to speed in terms of maybe suspension or something, as we see the lights out. But that car, I don't think was going to handle quite to his expectations there.
So top 5 as they stand, coming the green. Nick Bellamy leading the way. Adam Hallman, the Pontiac, in second. Chris Walters, B-Main winner Seth Fraser, and Vernon Margheim, another guy from the B-Main, up into the top 5. 3 cars from the B-Main in the top 5, and we're only 42 laps in.
They're showing it's definitely possible to go from the back to the front in a pretty quick hurry. Pace car is off. The front row pretty close together. The 20 is off. Green flag is out. An amazing start by Nicholas Bellamy there.
He timed that perfectly in that number 20 car. And Walters able to follow suit, get around the 69 of Holm, so move Walters into second. Battle still for the 4th spot between Fraser and Margheim now. Margheim with a good run. The inside lane seems to be what's working here so far in this Snowball Derby.
Seth Fraser, the B main winner there, up to 5th at the moment. And just in front of these leaders is that 3 of Daniel Masters. He is currently 2 laps down. So he might come into play here before too long. See how quickly these leaders can get by him if they do get to him.
Don't look now, because knocking on the door of the top 5, Jason Berg caught up in that big wreck in turn number 4 earlier in the night. He's up to 6th after starting at the back, and Sean Breitzman, another B-Main car, the Richmond winner, is in 7th. Both Berg and Breitzman with wins this season.
There you saw Seth Fraser up to 4th at the moment. Just got by Vernon Margheim there. Definitely got a fast car. Showed it in the B main and showing it once again here in the A, trying to hunt down that lead.
And another guy creeping up into the picture, our winner of the first race of the season, Matt Kingsbury, just got around Scott Mann. Mathew Kingsbury up into the 8th spot now, making some headway. He was caught up in that accident with Berg earlier, so he's making his way through the field right now as well, the 98 car.
Leaders cycling through Daniel Masters at the moment. That puts him 3 laps down now. So they're all getting by him cleanly, as the 0-2 is Seth Fraser trying to work a run here on the top 3.
You mentioned Fraser trying to get up here to the top 3, making his way through to the B main, but man, oh man, Nick Bellamy, what a story that's been so far here as we work lap 50, coming to 1/4 of the way through this one. Nick Bellamy, first start of the year in the Northwest Tour, brought to you by Joe's Racing Products, and he is up in the lead, and it didn't take him long at all to get up to the lead in that 20 car.
Absolutely not. Seth Fraser tried to make the move on the 69 there of Adam Holm entering turn 1, couldn't quite make it work, but he got to the lead there, Greg. But the most important thing is he's able to hold it at the moment. He's holding off the 24 Chris Walters and just getting some laps up front, which I have to imagine is pretty important for him.
But he's got to keep an eye in the mirror, as we'll get more on that in a second, as Nick Bellamy brings him off turn number 4. Race fans, let's crank it up.
Oh! Sorry about that. Chris Walters just absolutely got the wall there off turn 4. Sights and sounds here at Five Flag Speedway. And sorry, Greg, but there goes the 24 of Chris Walters. I was just going to mention that he had hit the wall just before he went to crank it up there, and that car does not look like it's been handling to his liking. Now he's falling back, and it was looking like he was holding up the 69 there.
Yeah, and Fraser gets by, and here comes Jason Berg, and what I was just getting ready to say was Bellamy leading the way right now, but he better start paying attention, because two very fast cars, the 02 of Seth Fraser and the 21 of Jason Berg, have made their way into the top 5, and they have just gotten around another car. So the 02 and the 21, they are making headway. Here comes Fraser taking a peek to the inside of Adam Holm for the second spot.
Now that they've cycled around the 24, which will he'll probably have to do some work on his car next caution. But once they got by him, it definitely looks like they're starting to reel back in that 20 there. Seth Fraser will look to the inside, doesn't have quite enough room to get to the inside of the 69.
And Jason Berg was able to get a little bit of a run on Fraser in the turn number 1 that time. Got an update. Daniel Masters has retired from the race. The car just too damaged to continue after the incidents.
This is a shame. Had a fast 3 car there, but unfortunately got caught up in a few accidents. The 02 gives the 69 there a little bit of a shot entering turn 3, trying to get to the inside. He will get to the inside this time into corner number 1. See if he can make the move, and it looks like that's done some damage to the front end of that 02. Doesn't quite have him cleared yet, but should as they head into turn 3.
But don't look now. Adam Holm's got a really good car through the center of the corner as he's able to make it stick on the outside, but there's the power from Fraser in the 02 as he clears him off turn number 4, bringing Jason Berg with him. But work to do if Fraser wants to get up there and catch Nick Bellamy. But man, 2 cars from the B main up in the top 2 right now. Great job by these guys.
I think you had mentioned it before. It was kind of a surprise to see the 02 of Seth Fraser in the B main, but was able to work his way up, and definitely showing the strength in that 02, just kind of doing the same thing he did in the B, which was slowly and methodically work his way up towards the front, and now he's just 1 position away from the lead here in the A main. I hear some contact in the back. The 5 of Donovan Stevens up at the wall in turn number 1. Looks like he's letting everybody pass and just kind of stuck at the wall at the moment.
I'm keeping an eye right now on the number 98 of Mathew Kingsbury.
there's a
Yellow
caution.
on the track. One car was stopped right up there in the apex of turn 1 and 2. Believe it was the 5 of Donovan Stevens.
He just pulled it to a stop. I'm not quite sure what led to that. I did hear some contact. I have the replay on that one. It was a little bit too far out, so either way, Donovan couldn't continue in that car, so he stopped and gave it a tow, and we'll lose some laps there, unfortunately.
So top 5 as they stand right now with 67 laps in the books, working lap 68. Nick Bellamy from the final transfer spot in the B main up to the lead in the Kustom Fab Snowball Derby. Seth Fraser, the B main winner. Jason Berg, Adam Holm, Chris Walters rounding out the top 5. When we come back, we'll rack 'em, stack 'em, and launch 'em off again. You're watching the iRacing.com Northwest Tour, brought to you by Joe's Racing Products, the Kustom Fab Snowball Derby.
Do you have an old crap can like this taking up space in your driveway? Are you still holding on to your old high school whip? Did your aunt run off to Alaska with her boyfriend and leave her shitbox Cadillac sitting next to your house? If so, call Woffords Towing. They haul off junk cars just like these, and they even pay you cash for those old clunkers. So let's recap. We take your pile of crap, we put it in our state-of-the-art pancake maker, and we squeeze out all the cash. Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking, 201 South Frontage Road, Wapato, 509-877-4944.
Back here at Five Flag Speedway in beautiful Pensacola, Florida, the Kustom Fab Snowball Derby featuring the iRacing.com Northwest Tour, brought to you by Joe's Racing Products. And the story of the day has been the race leader, number 20, Nick Bellamy, coming from the final transfer spot in the B main to get up to the race lead. And he's been pretty consistent since he got that lead, Justin.
Yes, sir, he has, and it's been pretty impressive. You know, just the fact that he got there, but he's been able to hold on to it, which I believe has been the most important part. He's definitely got his work cut out for this restart with the 0-2 of Seth Fraser next to him. See if he can hold on to it here and lead it the rest of the way.
And Jason Berg rolling off in the 3rd spot, also pace car pulling in, field back in the hands of Nick Bellamy, gets it going, we're green. And another great restart by Nick Bellamy. He's got those restarts figured out. That inside lane really seems to work on these restarts.
Oh, absolutely, and being the leader definitely helps as well, being able to control when you go. But how about Jason Berg takes over that 2nd spot away from Seth Fraser? The 24 and 69 almost contact there, but they keep it going.
And Jason Berg was caught up in one of those early accidents. Seth fast time, elected to start at the tail end of the field, got up a few spots, and then got caught up in an accident while trying to knock into the top 10. But now here he is in 2nd. Going to school now, trying to catch in that number 20 of Nick Bellamy, but a hornet's nest in the back. 3
that's a
wide,
mess.
Someone's going around. No, Breitzman makes the save.
What an amazing save by that 46. That was a mess to begin with off turn 4, but somehow they all made it work, as almost contact there once again with the 33 and the 98 there.
That just shows what incredible talent we've got in the Northwest Tour this year. An amazing save by Breitzman. Stuck on the outside of a 3 wide, and he hangs on and does an amazing job saving it.
Absolutely. I'm still kind of surprised that they all made it work out of that, but they do, and we keep racing here. The 20 looks like he's going to be pressured a little bit. Here comes the 21 of Jason Berg to the inside, but this 20 is able to hold him off on the outside at the moment, and here comes Seth Fraser storming up the outside.
This is really the first test Nick Bellamy has had all night long in that number 20 cars. He kind of just took his time in the B main, didn't really push the envelope, just trying to get up into the transfer spot. Really showing what he's got here in the early stages of this one. But this is really the first time he's been tested all night. Berg and Fraser not going away right now.
And I think the most impressive part about that was he was able to hold him off on the outside line or the middle groove there. Don't really see that a lot at these tracks that are predominantly bottom groove tracks, and able to make it work, and Seth Fraser almost followed him along with him on that outside.
And we reach lap number 80, and Justin, this puts us into that window. If a caution comes out in the next 30 laps, that will be our competition yellow. If a caution does not come out between now and lap 110, we will throw a competition yellow at lap 110. So we are inside that window now, working lap 81 of 200.
Yes, and that's mainly for fuel. These guys could not make it to the end from green flag to checkered flag on the fuel they had, so they've decided that from around lap 80 to 110, whenever we get that caution, these guys can come down, get 4 tires and fuel, and go back out there. So that'll be interesting to see, almost like a restart to the race there. And I'm sure those guys who kind of worked their cars in early are definitely looking forward to that halfway.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see if we can make it the next 27 laps staying green, or if we get a yellow. But a battle breaking out now for the 5th spot. Mathew Kingsbury to the inside of Chris Walters. Makes it look easy down the backstretch into turn number 3. Mathew Kingsbury, the winner of USA International in the Tough Enough to Drive Pink 150. He is up to the top 5.
And one car just kind of outside the top 10 at the moment. It looked like the 62 of Chance Overholt was on the apron there trying to make moves there towards the back. One spot out of the top 10. He's got a mess of cars in front of him to try and take some positions from.
And that's been an interesting thing, keeping an eye on that 62 of Overholt, because remember, he didn't make the call for the initial grid. He got going after the green flag had already been displayed. He was in a little bit of a pickle as he was
oh no!
Oh, we were just talking about him, and the announcers curse strikes again as another hit. Couple cars involved. Daryl Tidrick. Who else is that down there?
I did see the 72 there, and I believe Matt Hackthorne may have just gotten a piece of it. Man, why do we open our big mouths?
Boy, the announcers curse strikes again.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely a hard hit from that 72. Take another look at it. This is on board the 44 of Matt Hackthorne. Going to be just ahead. A little bit of contact from the car below and nowhere to go. That was a pretty hard hit as well from Matt there. Well, that is definitely a shame, as we mentioned, or as you mentioned there, Greg. He had not made it to the greens, so he had to work his way from pit road and was doing well.
Well, cars are on pit road, as this is the competition yellow. 86 laps in the books, leaders on pit road. So, Justin, what kind of strategies are you expecting to see here with the competition caution falling here on lap 86 as Nick Bellamy, Jason Berg already rolling away from their pit stops? Looks like Jason Berg is going to lead the race off pit road.
I was just going to say, some of these guys were mentioning that they might just take 2 tires there and come back around and get 4. Because that's just how small this pit road is. I believe that was 4 tires there, but that's mainly just to stay on the lead lap. We'll have to see as these guys come back around, but some guys still on pit road just trying to get damage repaired. But how about Jason Berg taking the lead off pit road?
So Berg getting the lead on pit road. Got an update. Donovan Stevens caught the wall off turn number 4 about 30 laps ago. Connection issues was the reason for that one. So Stevens having connection issues mid-race. That was the reason for that yellow.
Pushing and shoving off pit road there. Leave with, who's at the 26? All right, why don't we talk to our race leader here, Greg, as he wins the battle off pit road.
Jason Berg, Greg Rents in the tower, got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, you made the strategy work, kind of picking your way through the traffic. Got caught up in an accident a little bit, but here you are leading the Kustom Fab Snowball Derby. But what happened there off turn number 4 earlier in the race?
I'm not really sure. They just started wrecking in front of me, and I had nowhere to go, got spun out. So luckily the car didn't have much damage, and here we are.
Yeah, you got some racer's luck on your side. You patiently make your way through the field, and here you are, winning the battle with Nick Bellamy off pit road. But you guys, it seems to even the 20 of Bellamy have really been even Stevens the last 15 laps or so. Let's see, what do you think you've got for that 20 car and the 0-2 breathing down there as well?
I'm more worried about Seth than anything. I was kind of actually just biding my time waiting behind Nick there. I could have got by him, but just playing it smart, waiting for the pit stop.
All right, Jason Berg, good luck the rest of the way, sir, and we'll see what happens here for the second half of this race.
Yeah, thanks, Greg.
And that was Jason Berg, race leader. So Justin Berg mentioning that he was more worried about the 0-2 of Fraser than the 20 of Bellamy. So wondering if Berg knows something we don't know about that number 20 car.
You know, it could have absolutely been that Seth Fraser was kind of holding back a little. Knowing there was a pit stop coming, though, I feel like he would have worked the car a little bit harder. But we know that the 02 has a fast car. He showed it in the B main. He's already shown it tonight that car has a lot of speed in it. So it's going to be interesting to see if those two can get to the front, what becomes of it, as lights on the pace car are out. Looks like it'll be a single file restart this time. And it's all Jason Berg out at the front. He is off. Green flag is out.
And notice he took a really high line through 3 and 4 before chopping down to the bottom. So Berg kind of doing what he can to try to get that inside lane power that we've seen so far tonight. Makes it work as he gets out in front of Bellamy, but he takes a little bit of a higher entry through turn 3 that time, and that allowed Bellamy to close the door for just a second before Berg able to pull back away.
That got really close with the 69 and 98 there. Mathew Kingsbury and Adam Hall. Almost a little bit of contact on the front straightaway, but here comes Mathew Kingsbury. Will easily take that 4th spot away from the 69, and now the 37 of Kerry Anderson trying to follow suit.
Yeah, Caden Anderson in the number 937 making his second start of the year. He's making his way up into the top 5 as Kingsbury, he was the winner back at USA International, was running strong every other race this season, just hasn't had the racer's luck since that win, but he's hoping he can hold on here. He was caught up in that same accident as Berg in 4th right now, trying to catch up to Fraser, who's taking a peek to the inside of Bellamy in the 0-2.
Yeah, it didn't look like Bellamy got a good run off turn 4 at all, and that opened the door wide open for the 0-2 of Seth Fraser. He will get to the inside, should have the line in 3, but we've seen how well that 20 can work on that high side, that middle groove, and it looks like he's going to be able to work it again side by side as we head into turn 1, and Jason Berg is loving every second of that.
Yeah, Berg pulling away big time now as Fraser clears Bellamy, but Berg was 1.3 seconds ahead of the battle last time by. We'll see what the gap is this time as they come by. It is still 1.3, but Fraser not done yet with Bellamy, though, as Bellamy comes fighting back a little bit into turn number 1.
And the most important part, I think, about this battle is these guys on fresh tires, they got to make sure they show some restraint, as we still have 100 laps to go as we pass start-finish line. That is the halfway point, so we still got another half of this race that these guys need to run and don't want to burn these tires up too quickly, as they already got some new life in them.
Yeah, and Fraser, Berg, and Bellamy looked like they all took fuel only on their cars, so we'll see what happens here for the second half of this race as Kingsbury kind of biding his time a little bit behind the 20 of Bellamy, kind of waiting to pick his moment perhaps, with Caden Anderson rounding out the top 5.
It looks like Jason Berg still kind of slowly bringing out his lead even more. So these guys just kind of, at this point, looks like making laps. Everybody kind of nose-to-nose, single file, and first side-by-side battle looks like it'll be back in the 9th position with a 26 of Brad Morrison and Josh Childress, who just gets by.
And Morrison started outside front row, but something did not go his way on that initial start, as he's been having a hard time trying to get back up there, but he's doing a pretty good job since then in that number 26. So Morrison.
Oh my goodness.
Headway.
The 80, or excuse me, the 90 of Scott Mann absolutely rode the wall on the front straightaway, hit the wall hard off turn 4. I don't know if we have a replay of that, but that was an incredibly hard hit. Here's the replay. Off turn 4 and wow, rode the wall in turn 1. Somehow he saved that. That was a heck of a drive by that 90.
And he really only lost the one spot to Childress on that one. He's able to hang in the 10th position right now. We'll see if that damage affects him, as Hector in the 82 to the inside of Morrison behind him, but that's not for position. Hector wound up a lap down somewhere in that yellow.
I'm going to be replaying that one for a while from that 90. That was something you see out of the movies there, but yeah, you do have a battle there just ahead. The 77 of Josh Childress, who raced his way out of the B main. I believe he definitely has a fast car as well, just kind of been slowly working his way up towards the front, just inside the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, he finished 3rd in the B main, kind of taking his time, being patient, gotten into the top 10 now, going to work on James Paulson, the number 80. Paulson had to take a provisional to get into the Snowball Derby tonight, and he's up into the 8th spot right now. So really the B main has done really well to get up here, as we've got all but one of the top 4 right now were from the B main, and several cars in the B main rounding out the top 10. So maybe not a good night to be locked into the A main.
Possibly a little bit of an advantage there from running the B main. That was an extra 50 laps these guys got to run together. So as these guys just passed halfway, 88 laps to go, why don't we go ahead and crank it up once again?
Sights and sounds of short track racing here on a Sunday night in Pensacola, Florida. Jason Berg leading the way, and really ever since he got that lead, he has really done a great job pulling away from Fraser and Kingsbury now in the 3rd spot.
Absolutely. He has pulled up 2 seconds ahead of 2nd place Seth Fraser, and wondering if that's just the speed of that 21, or if, like he said before, that 02 possibly holding a little bit back. We know we still got a long ways to go in this race, 79 laps to go. So Wondering if that 02 is holding something back, but if he is, I feel like he's dropping a little bit too far back at this point.
I tell you, a guy who I do not believe is holding anything back at all is the guy right behind Fraser in third, the 98 of Kingsbury. He has been making steady progress through the field, not really saving it much right now, just trying to make his way through the field. He has caught up almost to the bumper of Fraser right now. Fraser with about a car length and a half over Kingsbury, but that goes away off turn number 4 that time as Fraser bobbled a little bit on exit. That allowed Kingsbury to get right to the bumper, and Mathew Kingsbury maybe has decided go time is now if he wants to get up there and contend with Berg for the win.
Well, the problem is, you know, Berg is 2 seconds ahead. These laps can fly away so quickly, and I don't think he can waste too much time knowing the distance back, as there's a little bit of time to the 02 that time, but that 98, as you said, a fast car, and one guy just behind him as well. We talked about him before, leading earlier, Nick Bellamy, still holding on to that 4th spot at the moment. A pretty good run for him at the moment.
Yeah, you can't ask for much of a better debut in the Northwest Tour than what Nick Bellamy has had tonight. Started 22nd of 24 cars, taking the final walk-in transfer spot from the B main, and then took him, 40 laps to get up to the lead in that number 20 car. That was an outstanding drive through the field for that 20 car tonight.
Absolutely. Definitely showed he had a fast car, and still showing it steadily inside that top 5. As it looked like there was a pretty good battle just behind the 33 of Vernon Margheim and Adam Hall setting to go at it here.
Hall taking a peek to the inside of Margheim going into turn number 3. That time by, that's the best battle on the track. There he is. Hall trying to stick the Pontiac in under the 33 of Margheim. Almost some contact there as Hall trying to force his way up there to take the spot. Doing a great job in that number 69.
He drove it in pretty deep into turn 1 there, as he's still kind of holding on, but I'm surprised they made that work, and they continue racing. Oh, and there's the contact!
There's the contact.
He saved it!
Hall and Margheim. Great save by Margheim, and he hung on to it as well. And he opened up a little bit of space as Hall did a great job to check up and not run over Margheim as he made progress towards the front after the contact. Margheim, not only did he make a great save, opens up a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, I think that was showing that maybe that 69 was a little bit too close there, but as you said, opens up a little bit and a little bit of breathing room, and I'm sure that's what the 33 wants at this point.
And a little bit of breathing room is what that 02 of Seth Fraser wants right now, as Mathew Kingsbury is all over the back of Seth Fraser, and Fraser takes a higher line through 1 and 2. Almost looks like his car won't hold down to the bottom as much as he likes, as he's trying to take a lower line in, but the car keeps sliding up through the turns, and that's allowing Kingsbury to get right up to the inside. Got to his door last time by, but Fraser able to shut the door that time by and able to gap himself a little bit, but this battle for second really beginning to heat up.
And I'm almost wondering if Fraser possibly just trying a little bit different line through the corners, obviously entering a little bit lower, possibly sliding up a little bit to try and make some sort of run. But as you mentioned, the 98 all over still hasn't quite gotten the nose in there yet, but I have a feeling it won't be too long. That 98 of Mathew Kingsbury, definitely with a fast race car here tonight.
Speaking of won't be too long, Jason Berg, lap traffic slowly beginning to fill his windshield as Kingsbury gets to the inside of Fraser that time off of turn number 4 into turn number 1. Kingsbury has the nose in front off turn number 4. He clears. Fraser with the crossover though. Not done yet is the 02. Great crossover move by Fraser to keep the battle alive at least for another lap.
And I believe it's going to end there off corner number 2. Kingsbury to second, Fraser back to third, but I still feel like Seth may be trying to feel something out, try and just run any sort of different line that will possibly help him and possibly get back up to second and to that lead. But now that Kingsbury is up to second, let's see if he can't run down our leader here, Jason Berg, who's opened up just about a 2.5 second lead.
We'll see, and with lap traffic beginning to creep up on the 21 of Jason Berg, this could allow Kingsbury to get up there. We'll see how Berg does through the lap traffic, but Kingsbury beginning to stretch a little bit between Fraser and himself. I'm wondering if Fraser may be hoping for one more caution, if he's just saving his tires. And I think if we get one more caution, it'll be go time for that 0-2 with Fraser.
I'd have to believe so with how much he's fallen back at this point. Still got 60 laps to go, so a caution at any point will kind of be the, I think definitely the to-go point at that point. But, yeah.
Boy, that is not white lap traffic ahead of Jason Berg. That is a hornet's nest with about 12 or 13 cars strong in front of our leader, Jason Berg, and Berg is beginning to catch up. Some of these cars laps down already, some on the lead lap still, but boy, oh boy, Jason Berg has his work cut out for him here in about, 7 or 8 laps once he starts catching up.
And to be fair to them, they're still racing for position. And I was going to say, lap traffic usually races a leader much harder than they do second place or third place, but I feel like with how much racing room we have here tonight and how aggressive they've been all night, that I think it's going to be the same treatment for everybody.
Christopher Heim, as of now, the first car that will fall into the clutches of Jason Berg, but Chris Walters, boy, that 24 car has not been handling the same ever since that shot to the wall. He's going to be the first one to fall into the clutches of Jason Berg, and that's only a couple of laps away.
Yes, and 24 Chris Walters and Jason Berg look like he got the wall there off the corner. I do see some damage to that right side. Well, no, maybe not as bad as I thought, but Jason's actually got what I would say is preferred for these for the cars in the lap traffic is they're all single file at the moment. Once you get double file, it starts to get a little bit harder to make passes there.
We'll see what happens here. Seth Fraser has really fallen off of the 98 of Kingsbury. Kingsbury already out to over a second ahead of Seth Fraser, so I'm not sure if Fraser may be saving the car or if the handle has just gone away on the 0-2. Either way, he's definitely not showing the speed he showed early in this one.
That puts the 24 Chris Walters a lap down, just lets him go at that point. Didn't get a good run out of 4, so lets him go, and Jason Berg will try and catch down and get by Chris lap traffic. But as you mentioned, they've calmed down just a little bit, but that's still quite a big pack of lap cars he has to negotiate.
Yeah, it's a huge pack of lap cars. Working lap 149, closing in on the 3/4 mark of this contest. Jason Berg really been the dominant car throughout the second half of this one. He already has Chris Walters a lap down. Next up, the 51 of Christopher Heim, as he starts taking a peek to the outside now. Keeping an eye on that 98 of Kingsbury, seeing if he can catch up or not. As Berg pulls to the inside of Heim, looks like he'll get that car cleared into turn number 3.
And already I can see Jason losing a bit of time there to the 98 of Mathew Kingsbury. And this is exactly what he wanted to see. And as long as Mathew can negotiate this traffic much easier than Jason Berg can, I think this is going to set up for quite the amazing finish.
Yeah, even if this one stays green, as we're officially 3/4 of the way through the books. 26 of Morrison.
Oh, and there goes the 24 on the front straightaway.
There's that yellow. There's the yellow we were talking about.
That got so close to involving the 98 of Mathew Kingsbury. I'm not sure how he avoided that one, but that could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a disaster for the 98 of Kingsbury. Can't help but wonder.
Wow.
I may want to see if we can get a hold of the 98 of Kingsbury and see if his heart rate has settled down.
Man, that was quite the weird incident there, too. I did see the 26 got into the wall, but I'm not quite sure what happened to that 24, Chris Walters, there. Why don't we bring up the 98 of Mathew Kingsbury here, Greg?
Hey, Matt Kingsbury, Greg Rentz in the tower. Got a copy.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Hey, doing good. Hey, how are you doing in there? Is your heart rate settled down yet after just narrowly missing that last one?
Yeah, that was really close. Actually, I was kind of getting ready to start working through traffic, and was really surprised that even happened. So it caught me off guard, and that was a shock for sure.
Yeah, we were just mentioning that with race leader Jason Berg in traffic, you were beginning to close the gap up, and we were wondering how you were going to attack the lap traffic, but all of a sudden, that's a moot point now, because now that you have dodged that accident, now you're right on the back bumper of Jason Berg.
Yeah, I don't quite know if I've got anything for him. It seemed like we were pretty equal, and I guess we'll just kind of have to see how things shake out after the green goes here. But it's going to be tough to pass him regardless on this old of tires, but we'll see what happens.
All right, Matt, you've got one win on the year already, tracking down another guy with a win. You guys are tied for most wins right now. Good luck, sir, and let's see how it works out.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And that was Matt Kingsbury. And Justin, another guy we were talking about, the 0-2 of Seth Fraser. He's up in the third spot right now. I'm wondering if he was keeping a strategy with that 0-2 backing off, or if something's going awry on that car.
Well, I think absolutely we're going to find out this run, because all bunched back up together, 45 laps to go, probably be about 43, 42 when we get back racing. This is absolutely when we're going to find out what his plan was. Whether it was hold on or hold back a little bit until we got to this point, or if that car is just not up to his standards at the moment. But Greg, I'm really excited for this restart. It's going to be absolutely go time, and it's going to be interesting to see how these guys fight at the front here.
Yeah, shootout time in the first annual Kustom Fab Snowball Derby here at Five Flags Speedway. Top 5 as they stand. Jason Berg leading the way. He's led pretty much the entire second half of this one after getting the lead on the competition yellow pit stop. Matt Kingsbury in second. Seth Fraser third. Caden Anderson worked his way around Nick Bellamy for the 4th spot. Bellamy rounds out the top 5.
Single file restart for this one. Jason Berg was good on the last one. Should be good on this restart. He pulls off. Green flag is out, and that was a pretty good restart from Mathew Kingsbury. I'll give him that. He kind of timed that one out.
He mentioned he wasn't sure what he had for the 21 of Berg, but he's hanging in there relatively well. I'm really curious, though, on the 0-2 of Fraser, how he handles these first couple of laps. We're keeping an eye on that 0-2 car and see what he does here for the first 5 laps or so of this run.
I think there was some contact back in the field, but everybody works past it. And as you said, yeah, definitely looking to see what this 0-2 can do at the moment. Kind of even between the top 3 in terms of gap. See if this 0-2 can start to get the wheels rolling here.
Battle for the 5th spot behind that as Margheim gets to the inside of Bellamy, and he almost clears him into turn number 1, but Bellamy comes fighting back on the inside. That your first side-by-side battle on the track right now. It's for the 5th position.
Behind that, the 90 of Scott Mann saw the movie-like move he pulled off just a little bit ago to the inside now, that 20. Kind of on the outside lane, not the preferred line, and falling towards the back. That's unfortunately put Nick Bellamy back to that 8th spot at the moment.
Adam Holm also getting through in the Pontiac in the 69. He makes the pass on Bellamy. Man, still battling it out. As Sean Breitzman, it looks like, has worked his way back up after his unfortunate little scenario. Kingsbury, though, as I saw it out of the corner of my eye, watching that battle between Breitzman and Bellamy, Kingsbury is at the bumper of Berg.
To the inside goes Kingsbury. Can he? He's at least going to get the nose in there. He got some pretty good power in the middle of 3 and 4, but it'll be Berg who has the advantage, but the nose still inside of Mathew Kingsbury and Jason Berg out of turn 2, side by side as they head into turn 3.
Boy, this is the battle that we've been waiting for all season long. These have been 2 of the fastest cars in the Northwest Tour. We haven't really gotten to see what happens when these 2 go mano a mano. We're seeing it right now, and this is an incredible battle. Seth Fraser got the best seats in the house right now in the 0-2. He's hanging in there also.
Absolutely. This could turn into a 3-car battle before it's all said and done with. That's quickly pulling in the 0-2 of Seth Fraser. These guys are still side by side, making it work, and neither giving an inch at the moment.
Just 1/100th of a second. Berg's advantage that last time by. Berg really seems to be strong on exit. Kingsbury looks to be a little bit better on entry. A little bit of a bobble from the 98 of Kingsbury that time. That allows Berg to clear him. Berg holds off the challenge for now.
That brought Seth Fraser right back into this mix, basically on the bumper of the 98. And he's going to try again, Mathew Kingsbury. Barely got the nose inside, and he's going to try and force his way in turn number 1. Oh, man, that got so close.
Two of the best duking it out here at Five Flag Speedway, the Kustom Fab Snowball Derby. And here comes Fraser. Fraser has hit the go button in the 0-2.
I was going to say, at this point, he's close enough, and we're close enough to the checkered flag that I think he needs to. And he's doing exactly what he needs to do at the moment, as these guys still battling for that top spot.
One car, a slow car, up ahead of them. That's the 26 of Brad Morrison, beginning to creep up. Will that play a factor? As here comes Kingsbury to the inside again. And Seth Fraser, he has caught this battle as well. This is an incredible battle right now between Berg, Kingsbury, and Fraser. Fraser taking a peek to the outside into turn number 3 that time.
Kingsbury able to put his nose into positions where I really don't think it belongs, but he makes it work. And all of a sudden, it's a three-way battle for the lead. Fraser's definitely there, and I think what you're seeing there is he's trying different moves or different lines to try and get past this 98, and that time I think it really worked. Started out in that middle groove and then worked his way to the bottom.
All three of them get around the 26 of Morrison, put Morrison in the
in the wall.
Stay green for now. Fraser still out with a little bit of a lead right now, but Kingsbury comes fighting back on the inside, gets to his bumper. Tidricks
no!
Goes down right in front of the leaders. Caution is out. Wow, how close was that for Jason Berg?
Man, that was close for all three of them, but how about that 0-2? He actually made a little bit of contact with that slow car, and that could have been disastrous for the top three. Wow.
That was the 45 of Daryl Tidrick. And there was definitely a little bit of contact between Fraser and Tidrick there. So we will see how this one unfolds now, because Justin, this changes everything, because Fraser, there was a battle there. That won't change, but Fraser did get a little bit of contact with the 45. Wonder what that's going to do to the 0-2.
I'm hoping it's not the same situation we saw earlier with the 3 of Daniel Masters, where he did make contact and didn't know until we took the green flag that car was a little worse than it needed to be. Man, this makes it even more of a shootout. Should be around 22 to go, I'd have to imagine. We take the green, and these laps are going to fly by. This race is going to be over before you know it.
Looks like Bart Hector Jr. got the lucky dog, and we've talked to the top 2. Justin, let's see if we can dial in the 0-2 of Fraser.
Yes, sir. Seth Fraser, you got a copy?
Yep.
Well, we did see you made a little bit of contact with that 45 of Daryl Tidrick, but definitely looked like it could have been a lot worse. Do you feel any different with the car?
It's hard to tell till we go green here, but definitely got the right front pretty good.
That's what I figured. Well, those guys were racing there side by side, and it looked like you were bringing your car up to the front there. Were you kind of just holding back a little bit to see what the car had, or?
I tried to save on the long green flag run, and then I think they still got a little bit better cars than I do, but I was able to kind of make it interesting.
All right. Well, sound like it's 2 to go. Should be a nice sprint to the finish. We wish you the best of luck here, Seth.
Thanks, guys.
That was Seth Fraser in the 0-2, and had a feeling that was going to be, the answer. Not going to know until we get up to speed. Just didn't know if he was feeling anything out under caution, but we get the 1 to go this time, and Greg, it's going to be a restart here with 22 to go. This should be really interesting.
And it just got a whole lot more interesting with that damage to the 0-2 of Fraser. Jason Berg leading the way, Kingsbury second, and what a battle those two were having, and Fraser getting right up there as well. We'll see if Fraser's able to hang in there, but Justin, we're set for an incredible duel to the finish here.
Absolutely, and those guys racing side by side for that long, I have to imagine that's exactly what we're going to see again. The 98 timed that last restart out pretty well, and he does it here again. Green flag out, and the 21 is away.
We're keeping an eye on that 0-2 of Fraser, see what happens here in the opening laps. Boy, how about Scott Mann in the 90 up in the 5th spot after that wicked save?
Oh my goodness, that's if he finishes top 5 here, that's going to be the greatest part of the race here. But yeah, he rode the wall earlier, top 5 at the moment. See if he can't make it by the 37 of Caden Anderson before all said and done.
20 to go this time by Jason Berg leading the way. Kingsbury in second. We're keeping an eye. Seth Fraser's car looking pretty good so far. Battle for 5th as Sean Breitzman going to get to the inside to Scott Mann, take the spot in the turn number 3. But so far, Fraser not really able to hang as well with Kingsbury as he was before the contact, but not really losing a whole lot of ground so far.
No, it's kind of like the last restart where they all kind of just held serve against each other, and it definitely looks like the 98 takes a few laps to get up to speed, and definitely looks like he's closing into the 21 of Jason Berg at the moment. Shouldn't be too long before he's at the rear bumper.
Yeah, he's closing in for sure, pulling away a little bit from the 0-2 of Scott Fraser. Adam Hall was given a penalty for result of the last caution, but Kingsbury, he is closing on the 21 of Berg.
17 laps to go. He's going to fly by in about 5 minutes, so whatever this 98 has, I feel like he has to make it work now, and just about on the rear bumper, about half a car length behind. It's not going to be too long here.
He's no doubt standing on the loud pedal in that number 98 car as he has reeled in Jason Berg. Once again, Berg's car stronger for the first 5 laps of the run, but once that 98 settles in, he's got a rocket.
Absolutely, and just about there, and I think the question is going to be, he's going to get to the 21, but how is he going to get around? He did last time a masterful job of kind of sticking his nose into a place where it didn't belong, but able to get the room. I have a feeling that's all we're going to change here as we get close to 15 laps to go, 14 to go now.
Boy, he had a great run off turn number 4. Car in the wall, right in front of the leaders. It's the 82 of Hector. He's rolling slow on the wall. Kingsbury to the inside. We stay green right now. This is Kingsbury's run. And the number 98 car almost slides up in the Berg. We stay green, and now the yellow comes out.
It just gets that much more exciting. The 82 there, Bart Hector Jr. up towards the wall, trying to stay out of everybody's way. And I think it's probably going to be the same situation as the 5, where he just stops, and takes the tow. And unfortunately, when you stop there, that's still the racing surface. iRacing has to call the caution.
Boy, so... Alright, top 5, as I said, getting set for a final shootout. Jason Berg, Matt Kingsbury, Seth Fraser, Caden Anderson, Sean Breitzman into the top 5. Shootout time here at Pensacola, Florida at Five Flags Speedway. When we come back, we'll take you to the finish. You're watching the Kustom Fab Snowball Derby.
Tidricks Quality Transmissions. Come see us today. Thank you.
One to go here at Five Flags Speedways for the Kustom Fab Northwest Snowball Derby. And we're set for an exciting one here. It'll be 8 laps to go when we take the green. Jason Berg still your leader. Mathew Kingsbury in second. Seth Fraser in third. And we had mentioned before, it seemed like the 98 took a while for that car to get rolling. We'll have to see if he can get going quick here on this restart. He's not going to have enough time. Right on the rear bumper, that 98, or that 21. Green flag is out. That's the best start that 98's gotten all race.
He did a masterful job hanging with the 21. Kingsbury is, I think he was saving it for one last final go, because he is not going away from the 21 now. This one's not over yet.
He was right on the rear bumper, that 21 on that restart, and I think he was waiting. Oh, and the 90's going to ride the wall again. The 33 is in the wall hard, and the caution will come out again. I believe we will have enough time to go racing one more time. But man, that's the second time that 90's rode the wall, but the 33 hard into the wall on the front straightaway.
I think this will set up a green-white checker. That was a hard hit for Vernon Margheim. A couple other cars got involved. Saw the 35 get caught up in that as well. Justin McClure. So we'll see what happens here with this one. That was a vicious hit for Margheim.
Absolutely. We're seeing the 33 at the moment, and I'm not quite sure what all caused it. The 33 did get the wall, and the 20 was the one who hit him in the back. Just nowhere for him to go. And saw the cars spinning up at the wall. I don't know if we can get another look at that 90, but once again, pulled the same move he did earlier. But here's the 90. I think this one was probably a little bit of a harder hit. No, it was about the same. I mean, that's the second time the 90's done that. And there's some hard contact with the 35 and the 51. I think the 92 have spun around there behind as well. Here's an onboard shot. This is with the 35. There goes the 33, and unfortunately just up the track and nowhere for him to go. Very unfortunate for Justin McClure there in the 35. Vernon Margheim is already disconnected for the night, so he is done.
He received a penalty for that also.
Well, I'd like to believe lights should go out this time. If not, it's going to be a one-lap shootout, and that's gonna be pretty intense here. What the pace car tells us as we take either the 1 to go or 2 to go. All right, 2 to go. So, Greg, it looks like we're setting up for a one-lap shootout here. I believe we'll get rolling with that.
And that's going to be advantage Berg in the 21 car, because with just one lap, Kingsbury's going to have to give it all he has. And he's only got half a mile to do it.
Absolutely. That could possibly lead to some bent fenders and hurt feelings there, but these guys can do it. I have to believe the pace car lights are going to go off, and they do. So 3 laps to go. 2 laps to go now.
All right. Justin, I think it's advantage Berg. 1 lap shootout. Who you got?
I'd have to believe it's going to be Berg as well, but that 98 timed it out so well that last restart. He's going to have to do that again, but tenfold on this restart.
Pulling up to the bumper again. Berg, Kingsbury. Here
pushing him this time.
Go.
Oh! Missed a gear in the 98, and that's going to allow the 21 to pull away, and I think the 21 of Jason Berg has just won it here tonight. Off the back straightaway.
Battle's going to be for second. Jason Berg, off of turn number 4, wins the Kustom Fab Snowball Derby.
Man, what a race. 1 lap shootout there, and unfortunately for the 98, missed a gear, but he was all on the 21 there, and basically pushing him on that restart. Unfortunately, just missed the gear there, and that's what cost him.
So Jason Berg picking up his second win in 3 starts in the iRacing.com Northwest Tour, as he picked up a win in one of the twin 70s back at New Hampshire So Jason Berg, his series leading second win of the year. And there you see your top 4 parked here on the front stretch as Caden Anderson rolls. And Jason Berg looks like he's going to celebrate.
21 definitely showed he had a strong car here tonight. Once he took that lead, didn't quite want to give it up there. He's burning it down on the front straightaway there, and I'm sure it looks better in the car than what it does here on our cameras as take it to victory lane. All right. Greg talked to him a little bit ago. Why don't we ring up our third place finisher here, Greg Rentz, or excuse me, Seth Fraser.
I was going to say, I got third. Awesome. Hey, Seth Fraser, Greg Rentz in the tower. Got a copy.
Yep.
Hey, the car didn't really handle as well as you would have liked it to after the contact, but you still held on. You had a fun final shot there at Kingsbury for second, with Kingsbury missing the shift. Walk us through that last lap.
Well, I kind of tried to time it. I didn't think I really had anything for the top 2, but I just wanted to make sure I got a good jump with people behind me. And Kingsbury bobbled the shift or whatever, and then at that point it was just trying not to cause a big crash. So.
All right, so Seth, third place tonight. Charlie Brown and company having a great run tonight. B main win and a podium tonight in this one. Seth, who do you want to thank?
So I think my buddy Mike Wood back in North Carolina. He's painted a ton of cars for us and helped the league out a bunch. He's a really good guy. If he needs a paint scheme, go to him. Kustom Fab for sponsoring tonight's race and helping us out. Chance and all those guys. Also got to thank Joe Racing Products for sponsoring the league. If it wasn't for him, we would probably wouldn't be able to get all these races broadcasted. So big thanks to Joe Constance.
All right, that's third place. Seth Fraser, congratulations. We'll see you back here next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
So that was third place as we look to try to dial up the number 98 of Kingsbury. Here he is. Justin, you got second place, Matt Kingsbury.
Yes, sir. Mathew Kingsbury, do you have a copy?
I do.
All right, well, the restart before that looked like you had him right in your sights, the 21 there. Unfortunately, you had that last caution with a one-lap shootout and just couldn't quite get it done. Looked like you missed a gear there.
Yeah, just I don't have my shifter set up, so I'm using paddles, and it just slipped a little bit there and going to, I think it was third. But I don't know if I would have had anything on a one lap. Anyways, it's hard to get a run on a guy on a single file restart. I was doing all I could, obviously, at the end, and I think I was just a hair quicker, but it is hard to pass on that slick of tires at that late in the run. So I tried to run them clean, got underneath them a few times, but just couldn't quite get by them without running them dirty.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not the easiest way to catch someone with one lap, but the restart before that was one of the best restarts from second place that I think we've seen all season. You timed that out really well, and that really helped you there with that short of a run.
Yeah, it did. I wish that I'd actually gone green a little stretch because I might have had a shot to get to him again. But yeah, I tried to time it. I was just assuming he would change his restarts up a bit, and he didn't really. Kind of kept starting in the same place, so I just tried to time it better and stay on him, and it worked well that time. But bummed I didn't win it. I worked hard to save my tires and thought it was going to pay off at the end, and just couldn't quite get it done.
Well, nevertheless, a great performance for you here tonight, here in second. Before we let you go, anybody you have to thank for this performance tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank all the guys that have sponsored the series through the season and kind of helped us put this together. It's been a lot of fun.
All right. Well, congratulations on second here tonight, and we wish you the best of luck next week as well.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that was second place, and Greg, I believe you've caught up with our winner here, Jason Berg.
Jason Berg, Greg Rentz in the tower. Congratulations, my friend. Win number 2 on the season.
Yeah, thank you. That was a hell of a race. I didn't think I was gonna be able to hold Matt off at the end there. He was definitely quicker than me. I kind of burned my tires off, I think, when I tried to check out on everybody in that mid-race restart. So I was actually kind of glad to see the cautions. I think that's the only way I was going to get him.
So did you have to take any heart pills after that one, after that battle with Kingsbury? And Fraser was up there for a bit too. How fast was your heart racing there with about 30 or so laps to go when that battle was at its heat?
It gets you going, that's for sure. You kind of forget sometimes that you're just sitting in front of a computer, especially when we were battling too wide there and I was trying to hold them on the outside. It definitely got intense. I'm got a little bit of a sweat going, not gonna lie.
Well, you held on. You got win number 2 on the season. Back in action next week. Jason, I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong name. Jason, who do you want to thank?
As always, Fly TV, you guys do a great job. Greg, you do a good job with the announcing. GeForce Aerial Media, like I say every week, if you guys want to check out their website, geforceaerialmedia.com, for all your aerial photography needs.
All right, Jason Berg, winner of the Kustom Fab Snowball Derby, win number 2 on the year. Congratulations, Jason.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Justin. Race number 4, technically 5 in the books. Let's take a look here at the results of the first real true short track race of the year, the Kustom Fab Snowball Derby. Justin, take us through the top 10.
Yes, sir. And as you just saw, Jason Berg comes home the victor here tonight. Mathew Kingsbury, 1 spot short, comes home in second. A great run for him nonetheless, as well as Seth Fraser comes home in third. It'll be Caden Anderson in fourth. Sean Breisman rounds out your top 5. Then Scott Mann in sixth, who wrote the wall twice tonight. That was an impressive feat to do that twice and then come home sixth. Nick Bellamy comes home seventh. Shane Quinn in eighth. Christopher Hyman ninth. Justin McClure rounds out the top 10.
Coming home in 11th, one of the B-Main Warriors, James Paulson, took a provisional from the B-Main to come home in 11th. Josh Childress, another B-Main driver. Pole sitter BJ Tidricks got caught up in that early accident while leading. He rounded up in the 13th spot. Matt Hackathorn, another driver who was caught up in that one, comes home in the 14th position. Chris Walters, Daryl Tidrick, Brad Morrison, Adam Holm, Chance Overholt, and Vernon Margheim round out the top 20. Justin, finish out the field.
Sir, you're going to have Casey Tillman, who comes home in 21st tonight, and Bart Hector Jr. in 22nd. Donovan Stevens in 23rd, and Daniel Masters, fortunately, comes home 24th. Had a good car early in the running.
So that is your finishing order. Justin, what's going on with our next race?
Well, next week should be pretty interesting. Heading to a road course, our only road course of the season at Watkins Glen. It'll be interesting to see which guys can come home with the win, turning both left and right. Watkins Glen, a bit of an easy road course, but it still has its challenges there. So it'll be interesting to see who can take home the checkered flag next week there. Should be very interesting here.
So you heard it, Watkins Glen coming up next week. Justin, 5 races in the books. Who's your favorite for the championship so far as we're officially past early stages?
Man, there's been so many guys who have worked their way up in these races. I'd have to believe, though, not based on point. Well, I guess based on points. Mathew Kingsbury has showed his worth here tonight, showed that he definitely has a car contending for that championship. Thinking he's going to be my favorite here.
I'm thinking the 21 of Berg has really done a good job to pick up 2 wins on the season. So far in this one, Jason Berg, I think, has to be the favorite.
All right, I guess we will see here as we get later into the season. As you mentioned, this was race 4 here of the season. And next week at Watkins Glen, be a true test of a racer there. So we hope to see you then. For Greg Rentz and Carlos Acosta, I'm Justin Cole. We thank you for watching here tonight, and we hope to see you next week as well.
Do you have an old crap can like this taking up space in your driveway? Are you still holding on to your old high school whip? Did your aunt run off to Alaska with her boyfriend and leave her shitbox Cadillac sitting next to your house? If so, call Woffords Towing. They haul off junk cars just like these, and they even pay you cash for those old clunkers. So let's recap. We take your pile of crap, we put it in our state-of-the-art pancake maker, and we squeeze out all the cash. Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking, 201 South Frontage Road, Wapato, 509-877-4944.
Tidricks Quality Transmissions. Come see us today. Thank you.